Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can everybody hear me? The last time I said that it was at the Fringe last year in a Meadows Bar, and the little chap in the second front row says, "I can hear you loud and clear, mister. I'm perfectly willing to change seats with somebody that can't hear you." Anyway, name is John Park. I'm from Motherwell, and as you can see, I'm in my 60s. And tonight I would just like to speak to you about one or two of the... Oh, I've liked humour all my life, but I'd like to speak to you one or two of the few of the things that come to mind that's happened, some way back and some recently. Marriage, for example. My good lady Liz, who's in the audience there, she came for, her and I came in from the Miners Welfare Club about fortnight ago, one Friday night, and Liz started looking through the photograph album. Now, nowadays I know all the young ones have got big fancy DVDs, but back in the early 70s, all we had left as an arrangement to a marriage was 3 brownie snaps, and Lizzie's got them pasted to the inside lid of a shoebox. Now as she looked through them late that night, she was feeling a little nostalgic, and she said, "Do you remember that Monday morning?" I said, "I remember it fine." And as I looked at the photograph, I said, "One problem here was," I said, "there's 4.5 stone here that I'm not legally married to." Lizzie's sitting up there, she's a good sort, she can take it. She knows I'm only joking. Anyway, and about 2 years after we got married, Lizzie's older sister May was expecting, and this was her first child, and she was in the maternity up the Eagles Road. Liz and I were up waiting. We spent quite a few hours there, and we went to the early hours of the night, and the nurses were running back and forth. And Liz is getting tensed up and feeling a bit anxious. She says, "I'm as nervous as hell," she says. She says, "I don't know whether I'm going to be an aunt or an uncle." Anyway, carrying on from that, January, February time, I had a niece, Hannah, and she actually had twins. And because it was a first off for you in the family, Liz was quite taken on about it, and she ended up phoning her up and asking how things were. And finally Liz says to her, "Who are the twins like?" And Hannah says, "Actually they're like each other." Anyway, carrying on from that, as the kids grow up a little bit, they get to go to primary school. I've got a grandson, Oliver, who's at the local primary school. And I remember when he first started school, he told me the story about the teacher having a get to know you session. And the teacher was going round to all the lads and girls in the school, "What does your dad do at Joy? What does your dad do? He's a bricklayer, blah blah." And he came to this little chap sitting at the front, and he says, "What does your dad do?" And he says, "Please miss, my dad is a magician." "Magician? And what's his favourite trick?" "Well, he loves to saw people in two." "And who else is it that's in your house?" "Please miss, I've got 2 half-brothers and a half-sister." Anyway, the other thing that happened about 2 years ago, there was a little boy in Oliver's class, and because his father had moved jobs, he moved to another school over in the outskirts of Coatbridge, in Bargeddy, or somewhere like that. And the only school anywhere close by was a Catholic school, and he ended up going to this Catholic school. And when he was at the Lady Well, he was absolutely hopeless at maths. He couldn't add 1 and 1, and all of a sudden he became an Einstein. He could do calculus, simultaneous equations, differentiation, integration, everything. My father pulled him to the side one day and says to him, "Johnny, how come there's such a vast change in your maths ability?" He said, "Well, when I first came to this new school, I walked into it and I saw the chap nailed to the cross. I says, you mean business in here?" Anyway, there are other things. Holidays are something that you can relax and you can have fun. We were at Tenerife last December, I think the second week in December, and we had a good time. We stayed in the Vanity Hotel, Costa Adige, and we used to sunbathe on the roof. There was a sunbathing on the roof of the hotel, and so I cordoned off from where the general public were. There was a nudist area, and we were up there one day, and there was a bit of a kerfuffle noise and coming from somewhere inside the nudist area. I climbed up and I peeked over the screen, and there was this security guard trying to get a Scouser girl who was sunbathing on this sunlight roof. She was, honestly folks, she was lying like that, stuck naked, face down on top of the sunlight. The thing about it was, directly below where the sunlight was, there was the reception area, the main reception area for the hotel. And you should have seen the chaps that were, the couples that were coming in, signing in for the lifts. I thought it was quite funny. Anyway, later on that day, we went for a walk down the main drag towards the main shopping area, and we passed the Ballet Princess. Liz decided to go and have a look at the entertainment floor, and she came back and she says, it's a tribute to Karen Carpenter tonight, and on Saturday night it's an Eagles tribute. Oh, I says, that's fine. I said, tonight we'll go to the Karen Carpenter show, and on Wednesday we'll go to Eagles. So we went that night, we went down to the Karen Carpenter. She was 6 feet tall and black hair, nothing like Karen Carpenter. Liz said she had quite a good voice. Saturday we went down to the Eagles tribute, and as we sat, I says to Liz, there's not a lot of people about here. And then these enormous birds of prey started flying about above the stage. It was a bloody bird show. Anyway, back home to Glasgow, and it was 80 degrees over there, and we came back into Glasgow airport, it was -8 degrees. And the other thing that, another stage in life that can be quite funny is old age. I remember when we moved into our current house in Motherwell, it was 1979, the same year as Maggie Thatcher won the Parliament. Same way she became the MP, some bloody year that was. Anyway, next door there was Mary Thompsonstead. She was getting on in life, and I always remember one day when with a large wall that separated the properties, and I was doing some pointing work at the bottom of the wall, and Mary was talking to the gardener handyman, and he was explaining to her that she needed £3 to prune the apple trees, up £1 from the year before, and she was having none of it. She says, I want you to go up there, I want you to give each tree £2 worth of pruning each. Anyway, as time went on, Mary ended up in Netherton Old Folks Home, and Liz and I used to go up and visit her every fortnight or so. And one of the times we went up, she said, I have a funny story to tell you, John. She says, I was in the day room this afternoon, and I heard 3 old deers talking. Old deer, she was 83 at the time. Anyway, she says, the first old deer said, when I die, I want my ashes spread around the Duchess Park, because that's where me and my late husband used to court before the war. The second old lady said, when I die, I want my ashes spread around the cairn in Strathclyde Park, because that's a memorial for Lord Bullfroch. And when we first got married, that's where we had our first flat, and that also has memories for me. Anyway, when it was the third old lady's turn, she turned and she says, well, when I die, I want my ashes spread in Asda Car Park. And the other two turned and said, Asda Car Park? She says, yeah, that way I can be sure that my daughter will visit me every week. Anyway, I'm trying to think of something else that is topical and jokeable. The other day I decided to put some tomatoes into the greenhouse, so I got up early, reasonably early, to go to B&Q, and as I drove by Motherwell Cross, it was about 5 to 9, 10 to 9, and when I looked over, there was a queue waiting in the library open. I thought to myself, Motherwell Library, that's a turn up for the books. Anyway, when I got to the B&Q and I went in, and I shouted a young chap over, and I says to him, could you tell me if the tomato plants are in yet? He says, I don't know. But he says, I'll go and ask the guy that knows everything. So we went into the restroom area, and he came back out and says to me, you're not going to believe this. He says, see the guy that knows everything? He doesn't know. I said, well look, you're going up that way, can you pop in and have a look? And I've got a sore leg and I don't want to walk up there, I don't need to. And just pop round the corner and either thumbs up for yes, thumbs down for down. He says, I've got a problem with that, sir. I said, what's that? He says, I don't know what a tomato plant looks like. Anyway, it's nearly finished, and I'll leave you a thought to ponder on. Did John Higgins actually fix the snooker matches, or was he framed? My name, as I said, good night, and thank you very much for asking me, and thanks very much for listening to me.